Have their own.
Okay, so the American high school. Okay.
There should be a pen.
There's a pen.
.30, we ready? We got everybody we need? We got a quorum, so we're good. Okay. All right. Today is the 18th. All right, welcome. Today is Tuesday, July 18th, Easton Zoning Board of Appeals. I am acting chair, Ryan Cook. Why don't we want to do the organization first?
Possibly.
Yeah, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take care of a little business. We're gonna do board reorganization, so give us like 3 minutes. It's probably plenty. So 3 positions need to be filled, chair, vice chair, and clerk. So basically we need nominations for, we'll start off with chair.
I'll nominate Ryan as chair.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? You don't want to take chair right away? Okay. Okay. Any discussion? None? I guess we'll take it to a vote. All those in favor? Or we're just... Okay, that's 4. I'm going to abstain. Okay. So that's right. All right, vice chair. So that's an open position because I was the vice chair. So we need a nomination for vice chair.
It's want me to do it, I'll do it. No, doesn't matter to me. Let's say as clerk, it's, move it up like
I defer to you. I think you do a great job as clerk, though.
okay, whatever you guys want, you guys gotta decide.
But if you want to be vice chair, I would vote for you for vice
It's
chair.
fine with either one. whatever.
As usual, no one wants to take the helm.
I mean,
I'm going to nominate John for vice chair.
Alright. Seconded.
Okay, that's it. Any discussion? None. Okay, so we'll just do a hand raise vote to make it quick. All those in favor?
I'll abstain since
Okay,
my name's
4-0 and 1. And clerk, Tim, would you like to remain
I will remain as
as
a
clerk? Fantastic. All right, so I'll make a nomination of Tim to remain as the clerk.
I'll second that.
It is seconded by Mr. Curran. Any discussion? None, we'll do a hand vote. All in favor? 4, all opposed? Tim didn't oppose, good, 4-0 and 1. Okay, so we have our organization. All right, let's get down to business. So we have 3 items on docket this evening. First one, Tim, do you want to read special permit 23-3, please?
It's my pleasure. Eastern Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 18th, 6:30 PM, Eastern Town Hall, calling Corona Boardroom, 136 Elm Street, Easton, Mass. Following petition. Special permit, Patrick Welch, property located at 24 Quonicut Avenue, Easton, Assessors Map 10R Lot 29, for a special permit pursuant to Eastern Code Book Chapter 235, zoning, Section 235-25, subsection A and 3, and Section 235-56, as follows. Applicant seeks permission to voluntarily demolish an existing single-family home on a substandard lot and construct a new home on the lot that will meet all building setbacks. This notice is available at masspublicnotices.org. Read the following comments. Affordable housing, not applicable. Historical Commission, incomplete, built circa 1940, 24. Quonicut is more than 75 years old and subject to Historical Commission demolition review. Board of Health did not recommend. Proposed house has 4 bedrooms and an office. The office is considered a bedroom. The septic design is for a 4-bedroom home. You either to revise the septic plan to a 5-bedroom design, or the office remove the doors and create an entry that is at least 48 inches wide. So, signed by Tim. Excuse me. Environmental planning complete. Ponds have 200-foot river front per wetland bylaw 503-14C2. Please submit a wetland permit application. Thank you. Conservation. DPW not applicable. Planning and zoning voted to recommend. Planning and zoning board discussed a special permit application submitted for 24 Quonicut Avenue and voted 4-0 to recommend the application. Those are the other comments.
All right, is the applicant present? Okay.
Here.
Sure. Do they have a microphone over there? Well, it's more for the folks on TV. I mean, we can hear you, but the challenge would be without a microphone, the folks on TV can't. Okay, all set. I'm going to ask you first before you start, cut a couple of comments in about asking for more information. Do you want to move forward, or do you want to?
I can try and address those and see if you feel
Okay.
comfortable with them.
Fair enough. You have the floor.
For the record, my name is Lucas Flynn from Flynn Land Surveying. I'm a registered professional land surveyor in Commonwealth, Massachusetts, and I prepared the plan before you. As we read, the applicant seeking to demolish the existing dwelling that has been mostly demolished already. When my client purchased the property, the walls were already down, it was pretty much gutted to the studs. So he's looking to, completely demolish the building. The foundation isn't in the best shape either. So the lot was created in 1949. I have a plan from 1949 that shows the creation of the lot. It also shows the building on the lot, so we know the house is, at least that old. As far as the comments, the comment from the Conservation Commission, I addressed that with Patrick. I think what we need to do is have a new wetland delineation. The septic plan was kind of old, so we were gonna do a new wetland delineation which would incorporate the 200-foot buffer and then prepare a notice of intent or a RDA with the Conservation Commission. So we are not opposed to that work and plan on going forward with that. What was the other issue?
Historical commission.
Historical.
Yeah,
Defer
so,
that to Patrick.
so historical area, talked to them, so I'm in the process of pulling a permit done. And the part with the, office on the first floor, I had changed the plans and uploaded it to you guys so you can see it, but if you don't have it, I have the plans also, but it's not, it's just gonna be in case opening now, no door,
You're the property owner?
I'm the property owner.
All right, so just make sure you state it for the record,
Yeah,
please.
I'm Patrick Walsh.
Okay, it, obviously not currently living at 24 McQuarrie.
No,
Okay, very good.
As far as historical too, it does look like Patrick's gonna maintain almost the exact same footprint of the existing house now for, you know, what you can see from the street and the side with some additional square footage to the back of the property, to the back of the dwelling. So, on that. Take any questions?
All right, Mr. McCall, any questions for you, sir?
On the new plan, I don't see where the driveway's going to be.
so the driveway's staying exactly where it is,
So can you say the old plan?
part of the old plan.
Yeah, to the right of the existing dwelling. That's probably shown on the septic plan.
So it's not gonna change, and then there's gonna be a garage that's gonna be underneath?
Garage gonna be underneath.
So this little curve here will drive right underneath, is that the plan?
You have the septic
Turning
plan.
into it? That's what it looks like. I'll answer my own question. Okay. That's what it looks like. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, Ms. Curran?
Yeah, I have a couple. You had mentioned in your introduction that, the building was partially demolished, that was all in the interior.
That was prior to me building it, so
Yes.
I'm building it, purchasing it, so whoever had it prior to me demoed the whole inside. There is nothing in there except for studs.
The windows are gone too, I think, right?
So the windows are all smashed in,
Uh,
truthfully.
Smashed,
Like, someone threw glass
Vandalism?
through them,
Yeah.
like,
okay. Was there any kind of a permit pulled for that prior demolition that you were?
not that I'm aware. He may have gotten a demo permit, but I didn't see one.
Okay. And are there other structures on the property besides the three those? No. Thank you, I don't have any questions.
Mr. Kay?
Thank you. So just going through the list of comments, you have an application in for the historical commission,
So I'm actually dropping it off tomorrow morning.
okay? And then the Board of Health has an issue with 4 bedrooms and an office and the septic being only approved for, and the office counting as a bedroom and the septic only being approved for 4 bedrooms, and they say something here that you either get a 5-bedroom septic or a 48-inch wide entry to the office.
Right, so I changed that on the plans,
you revised
uploaded
the
it,
floor
I
plan.
revised it,
Oh, so what
uploaded it
are
for you
you
guys.
doing?
So I'm just doing a case opening doorway
Oh, okay.
and,
So it's
and
gonna be
no
4
door.
4 bedrooms
4
and
bedrooms.
some,
4 bedrooms,
yeah,
yes, I'm
some
keeping
open
it.
office.
Yes, open office.
And then the last one, I think you said you submitted a permit application for environmental.
We're gonna have a
yeah.
new botanist do a new delineation, because the old delineation was fairly well, it was done when the septic plan was done. I believe that was before you purchased the
That was
property.
before I
Yeah.
purchased the property.
So,
Got it, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Hamburger, you have anything?
Basically, I know the property and it should be demolished.
It would be nice to have you else there.
I agree.
I have no comments. Do you have anything you want to add?
I think that's it, we could request
Well, any comments from the public? Okay, don't all speak up at once. All right, entertain a motion to close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
I'll second it.
Second, Any discussion? Seeing none. All right.
I'm in favor of approving it, obviously.
Well, we gotta finish that vote first.
Oh,
So,
right.
Mr.
I don't
McCall.
have any discussion of closing.
So, yes. Mr. Curran.
Yes.
Mr. Kay.
Yes.
Mr. Hamburger.
Yes.
Yeah. So that'd be a 5-0. Okay. So now feel free to discuss.
Feel, it's gonna be a net improvement, it's taking a property that's been on the left to its own, and it's gonna make a nice house, I think it's a good idea. It's got a little more work to do, so I think we can, as far as our purview, approve our portion of the permit.
Mhm.
So I'm in favor of.
Yeah, my question is, do we condition the vote on
Yes.
approval by
Yes.
the historical commission, board of health,
And
environmental
Conservation.
plan?
correct. We can do whatever we would like.
Good.
So, yeah, I mean, if that's the condition, which I think is reasonable, then we can certainly do that.
Okay.
I like to do that.
Okay. You're good?
Good.
All right, so who would like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve the special permit, subject to the conditions that the applicant complies with the information requested by, the documents requested by the historical commission, the board of health. So that that room that you've described as being an office, that's also a condition of the approval. And then approval of the plans by the environmental planner, which I understand here.
Process submitted.
Yep.
Okay.
Should I pare that down, or is that?
No, that's what I had in my notes.
Seconded.
Okay, second, any discussion? Seeing none, let's, Mr. McCall, how do you vote?
Vote in favor.
Favor. That's 2, Mr.
In
McKay. Favor, that's 5-0. All right, so take care of those things. Suzanne will take care of the paperwork and she'll be in touch.
Awesome.
And I appreciate you showing up.
Good luck.
Thank you for your time.
All right. All right, next up, number 23-5. Mr. McCall.
I'm gonna help you out.
Gonna make use of your television.
Please do, that's why it's there.
I'm gonna read that in, Mr. Chairman.
Please do.
The Eastern Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 18th at 6:35 PM. The Easton Town Hall, calling a Corona Boardroom, 136 Main Street, or Elm Street. It's Easton, Mass. The following petition variance. John, and I apologize, I'm gonna say what's your name, Close. Close, okay.
Yeah, pretty close.
For property located at 33 Pond Street, Easton, Mass. 3356, Assessors Map 17U Lot 5 for variance pursuant to Eastern Code Book Chapter 235 zoning, subsection 235-16, and Appendix B to allow zoning relief from minimum lot requirements on a non-conforming lot to construct an addition. The agenda will be posted at least 48 hours in advance of the meeting. This notice is available at masspublicnotices.org. I'll read the following comments. Board at a time. Board of Health recommends, please note the offsets to septic tank and field must be maintained. Affordable housing, historical commission, police department all say not applicable. Fire department recommends, no issues for the fire department. Environmental planner incomplete. They've submitted a wetland permit application. If it's in on Monday, they will be at our 7:10 agenda. DPW not applicable. Planning and zoning voted to recommend on June 26th. The planning and zoning board discussed a variance application submitted for 33 Pond Street and voted 4-0 to recommend the application.
Good evening, newly appointed Chairperson Cook, members of the board, and members of the public in attendance. For the record, I am Nathaniel Carden, a registered architect. I reside at 50 Brightwood Avenue in Providence, Rhode Island. And I'm representing the property owners Hannah McCabe and John Balsovich. We're requesting a variance and relief from zoning requirements for a rear addition at 33 Pond Street, in Northeastern here, pursuant to Chapter 235, Section 54B of the bylaw, and Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 10. So, in plain terms, we're here to specifically request relief from the rear setback requirement and the lot coverage at the subject property. And we sincerely thank you for your attention to this matter. In my presentation, I'll provide a brief background of the project, its physical conditions, present our argument, and then just open up for questions. So for background, it's an existing non-conforming grandfathered two-family home. This is the structure in question. It sits on a small lot, 6,368 square feet, and this is a non-conforming lot in a residential zone. The existing structure is non-conforming with respect to the front, side, and rear setbacks per the current bylaw standards. The lot itself is undersized, and the total footprint of all the existing structures does marginally exceed the maximum lot coverage as it is. But both units are currently owner occupied. The residents are present at the hearing today. And at the rear of the property, there's an existing deck. It's about 14 feet in depth. It's encroaching into both the side and rear setback. It's in disrepair and is proposed to be demolished and replaced with a two-story addition, also approximately 14 feet in depth. The spaces within the addition on each floor are generally considered as bedrooms. We'll just go to the floor plans. So you can see the layout here. So what we're doing is converting two of the existing bedrooms into living space to accommodate the growing family's needs. And that's also to maintain the bedroom count at 4 so that we're not overloading the existing septic system, which is sized for 4 bedrooms. And all the setbacks from that existing septic system are to remain. An existing wood retaining wall and wood steps on the back of the structure are in disrepair. They pose a potential safety issue and eventually even a potential erosion risk. The site elements are proposed to be replaced with a concrete retaining wall, sturdy with steps, and then a small paver patio just overlooking the Langwater Pond. And this is a previously disturbed area at the base of the addition. So we are located within the 100-foot buffer zone. That's the jurisdictional review area of Easton Conservation Commission, and we're in the process of applying for that permit. It was submitted last week, and we're on for Monday, 7/24, to review the project with them. The project engineer and I both share the perspective that it's located the addition is located in a pre-disturbed area due to the existing deck foundation, that failing retaining wall, and there is a patio that's just kind of falling apart in we're putting a new patio. So because of this, we've requested an RDA, and will of course comply with any documentation required. So our main argument is why we believe that the board should grant the relief requested. Just starting with the special circumstances relating to soil conditions, lot shape, topography. There is an existing septic system, so we can't put the new addition on the south side of the lot. It's a bit of an irregular shaped lot, small, so it doesn't necessarily present the same opportunities for conformance as a roughly 1 acre standard lot. A similar encroachment into the rear setback occurs, both on this site with the deck and also on the neighboring property at 35 Pond Street due to the irregularity and constraints of that particular site. And the homeowners have been great about speaking with the surrounding neighbors and that neighbor in particular, and they expressed their support for the project and wish them luck. Towards the back of the property, there's also a steep slope towards the pond. So just wanted to pass around these existing photographs just so that you can see where the addition would be going and the kind of the state of disrepair that I was speaking about, including that retaining wall and some foundation repair that's needed in the back of the property. Next kind of point of our argument, literal interpretation of the bylaw would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise. Literal interpretation would limit the applicant to a pretty minimal usable interior space for the addition. And we just don't feel that it would justify the high financial cost of construction in today's economic conditions. The substantial hardship also exists with respect to the site constraints described. We're limited in locations we can put the addition. So we're asking for relief to extend into the rear setback approximately 6 feet. The owner's family is growing. There's a baby on the way, and Hannah McCabe, the residents present here today, would like to remain an Easton resident, not have to face the hardship of leaving town with a newborn child due to the lack of adequate space for their family. So they're hoping to get this project completed as soon as humanly possible. Just third item of the argument, relief may be granted without detriment to public good, without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent and purpose of the bylaw. So the addition stays within the existing foremost non-conforming side setback. The existing non-conforming deck, already encroaching in the rear setback, is very close to the same proposed footprint as the proposed addition. And the existing non-conforming lot coverage would only be increased by 0.6%. So from 21.7% to 22.3% as a result of the addition. If we round up to the nearest whole number, it's the same. The proposed addition is several feet below the height limit, and it's hardly visible from Pond Street, which I tried to show in that image on the cover page of the architectural drawings. You can kind of just see a small portion of the roof line from the street, so we don't think it affects the character of the neighborhood, and it would be of the same material as the existing home. Lastly, the addition would not be adding any bedrooms, so therefore we feel that it doesn't pose any potential for overpopulation densification, and that it would not derogate from the bylaw or be a detriment to the public good. So myself, the young working professional owner residents here, respectfully request the relief presented, and we're grateful for your consideration. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Does anyone go first?
I mean, it's pretty thorough presentation. Everything will be placed on stilts according to the,
So a portion of the rear of the property is on posts, and if I go to SD10, you can see a little bit more clearly that there's a small, approximately 10 by 10 basement extension that we were thinking could be just for storage. We think that if there's a challenge from Conservation Commission, it may be about that. But given that the retaining wall is in disrepair, this retaining wall here, which we'd be replacing with concrete, we feel that it would be acceptable to maintain that basement extension, but as needed, we're willing to omit that if that's what it takes to move forward.
Just the existing deck extends 14 feet off the back of the property. And the addition will extend back an additional how many feet?
It's like 0.2 feet. It's because we're removing the entirety of the deck and then putting the addition essentially in its place, and it's a matter of a few inches farther than that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you, I don't have any other questions.
So I think I can see part, so on the left is the deck that you're going to remove.
Yep.
And on the right shows the two-story addition. Green
Correct.
deck is, and that's gonna be a couple of inches extended.
Yes.
And you said, and show me, if you would, where the existing deck is that's falling apart and going to be redone.
That's this portion, yeah. So essentially, the entirety of the deck, the steps, the pressure treated wood retaining wall and steps would be removed, and then a new concrete retaining wall to sturdy that up.
So can you point down the new part where that is, what I'm looking?
Yes. So basically, this is where we're just putting in a new door, and there's a new deck extension coming out to here. A couple of steps to meet that existing walkway line, and then sort of a switchback stair that goes directly down to this patio. And then, yeah, so this is the line of the existing deck here. And it kind of follows that similar line that we see
So you're
here.
gonna have less deck.
Yes, there'll just be just a small deck on the first floor, basically just a little pocket deck, and then the primary outdoor space will be that new patio, which is, has a nice relationship to the pond in the back.
Can you show me again the part about where you were gonna take off you were talking about taking off an extension of the basement if it didn't go with the conservation didn't like it.
Yeah, so I think the clearest view that I have is this last one, where we're essentially extending a concrete stem wall and then a wood pony wall on top of the stem wall to meet the underside of the floor. It'll allow for access to the existing basement and then provide a new door. It's fairly short. It's not occupiable space. Doesn't meet the ceiling requirements for that. It's just storage, and we put a window in it so it gets a little bit of natural light.
And just so I am following along with the orientation, that's the side that's on 35 Main Street.
This is
The back.
the back side.
The back.
So it is
Overlooking the pond.
That's. Can you tell me, is that the north side, the south side? Just so I can get it like in my head.
Yeah. So it would be the east side. I
East
guess northeast. If we're just kind of using this north arrow here, so I didn't include a floor plan of that space because it wasn't.
But it's closest to this area that's Carlos M. Rivera, trustee of the Wolfhard Family Trust. Is that
On the north side.
and is that 35 Pond Street?
Carlos, yes, that's 35 Pond Street, correct.
And you say that he's on board with it?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Hamburger?
The only question, I have sort of two questions on the, I'll call it the overhang. What is the depth of it?
This is about 4 feet.
Okay, and the construction of the valley columns holding it up would be what?
Presumably 6x6 wood or steel posts.
That's sufficient?
As far as, the only challenge that we had when I never want to have a non-conforming property become more non-conforming. And what you're asking us is to make it more non-conforming, even though it's a couple inches. What was the thought process that went into that, extending it even further and making it more non-conforming?
I think that the surveyor is measuring to the face of the siding versus the face of the structure
Okay,
from the plan that I provided to them.
okay.
But to the face of the stud would remain at the 14-foot mark.
That's all I had, because the other questions I had were already asked. All right, anybody else have anything else? Any comments from the public? You can certainly make comments on your own behalf if you'd like.
Well, I just want to say I'm Hannah McCabe. For the record, I live at 33 Pond Street, and I just want to thank everyone for listening to our appeal.
All right, we'll make a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
All right,
A second.
great, that's two. Vote yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Yes, and that's a yes for me, so that's 5, so we'll close the hearing. Okay, discussion.
Thank you so much.
I think it's pretty much, within a couple inches, is exactly what they're having for us, reorientated, adding some more space for a growing family, and, it's a very small lot. I think it meets the requirements, and especially in topography, there's nothing else they could possibly do, and I think there would be a benefit with the concrete retaining wall as opposed to the timber one that they currently have in place. So I'm personally in favor of this project. I mean, I do agree, I like making things more and more non-conforming, but it's such a small sliver.
Yeah,
To me, it's,
To me, it seemed more like a surveyor's error as opposed to.
just maybe the studs are lined up, it had to go out another couple inches, who knows? So I'm in favor.
Anybody else?
No, I feel the same way as Tim. So,
I agree, I just note that, they have this July 24th hearing at the, is that what it is, it's a hearing? That's conservation.
Yep.
Got it.
So that's like feel a condition coming on.
Yeah, it just seems like we just did it last time, it's
Right.
probably do the same thing.
Nothing for you? Okay.
Motion to approve the condition that they comply with conservation and they comply with the environmental, that's environmental planning, and then, that's the only condition.
All right, so condition on the environmental planner getting the wetland permit application approved. Okay, is that clear, Suzanne?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I have a motion.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Curran. Okay. Great, we'll take a vote.
In favor?
That's 1.
In
Mr.
favor.
Curran, Mr. Kay, Mr. Hamburger, and myself, that's 5-0. All right,
Good luck.
congratulations, nice presentation.
Have a good evening.
You too, you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, is our JGI Realty Trust, are they here? All right, come on up.
If you need the big plan, I can put it up here.
Okay.
All right,
That's what Rick is saying.
well, we'll wait for Suzanne to get back. It took me a couple years to figure that out, so
And you're gonna make me wait.
No, no. So, variance and special permit, they're both different law, sections of Mass General Law, Chapter 48. Special permit, much lower barrier to entry, not adding undue burden to town resources, not adding additional traffic, stuff like that. Variance, totally different. It says that basically the bylaws say you can't do what you want to do. Oh, I want to build a little house and it has a 200-foot frontage requirement, but I only have 113 feet. That would require a variance. Special permit, you meet the zoning bylaws, but there's some condition that says you need approval. Variance says
Okay, I
there's
see what
something
it
that
is.
you do not meet the guidelines of the zoning bylaws, you need permission. And it is something, the specific language in the Mass General Law, Chapter 48 says due to the shape, size, or topography of the land. So that it's uniquely different than any of the other lots in the area. Very hard to pass. Some towns never pass it. It's really up to the board members and what they feel. Generally, the way the board has addressed it over the last number of years is if it's in character with the neighborhood, you don't have any neighbors who are really opposed to it, then generally, we sort of feel that people should be allowed to do with their property they want within reason. But that's the difference between a special permit and variance. Okay. Mr. McCall, please read it in.
Yes. Easton Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 18th, 2023 at 6:40 PM at Easton Town Hall, calling Corona Boardroom, 136 Elm Street, Easton, Mass. The following petition, special permit, JGI Realty Trust for property located at 68 Prospect Street, Easton, Mass. Assessors map 16R, lot 42, for a special permit pursuant to Easton Code Book, Chapter 235 zoning, Section 235-20, non-conforming uses to construct a building to conduct golf club fittings. This notice is also available at masspublicnotices.org. Following comments. Board of Health, Police Department, Affordable Housing Trust, and Historical Commission, all not applicable, as is DPW. The Environmental Planner, also not applicable, Board of Health, correction, recommended. And the Planning and Zoning Board, on June 26th, Planning and Zoning Board discussed a special permit application and voted 4-0 to recommend this application.
Okay. You have the floor, sir.
Good evening to the chair and members of the board. Thank you for hearing us. As indicated, we're here on a special permit request to construct a 2,912 square foot building for the purpose of the equipment fittings for the golf course. There have been, actually with me today is also Joseph Ritchie. He is the owner, trustee of JGI Realty Trust, and the general manager of Pine Oaks Golf Course, which is the facility operating on this property. I'm Timothy Duffy, counsel for JGI Realty Trust. Tim is fine. And we are seeking to construct this building alongside the pre-existing retail facility that is currently located there. The current construction is pretty much hardscape. There is a small area of dirt and gravel, but this building will be located in an area that currently occupies 5 parking spaces. The parking spaces that are currently on the facility are more than sufficient pursuant to the zoning bylaws for the existing use, including the additional traffic anticipated by this filing. The entire scope of the project would be outside the 200-foot buffer. And the basic reason for this ancillary building, accessory building, is the prior fittings were done on Turnpike Street, which is where the golf country used to be and is now totally demolished. And this is a substantial hardship on the owner, is that's a major portion of their revenue. They do an average of 15 fittings per day. There's more than 50% of those customers actually purchase the equipment. And with respect to any additional traffic where those 50% were already coming to this location to take advantage of ordering the equipment at the retail shop, it's really not creating any significant increase in traffic. It's an accessory use commensurate with a golf course. It certainly isn't causing any detriment to the neighborhood. There's basically one abutter that will even be able to see this particular project, and it would actually, in my opinion, increase would be a benefit to their visibility, because it's going to block the long side of the existing retail section, so they'll actually have less of a metal building to look at. I submitted a brief that basically addresses the specifics of issuing the specific permit in terms of the requirements necessary. I can certainly get into that if need be. But there are 2 previous special permits already issued, 166 for the initial construction of the 9-hole golf course in 1968, and a second, which is petition 952, which was done in 1988 for the current retail structure. And in that finding, this board actually says that they clearly understand that accessory buildings will be necessary, and buildings plural, for the continued operation and existence of the course.
Okay. All right, open it up for questions.
And again, this is just ripping up what has been hardscape. As I look at, this is the main entrance when you go into your facility up here.
Correct.
So it's and what are they gonna use? Pavers or asphalt, little sidewalk like I said before?
The main entrance is right in here, which is going to be close to the
Right.
new structure. This stairway is coming out. Right here, right now, is probably an 8-9 foot retaining wall, concrete retaining wall.
So then that's where the parking lot above is a little higher above, right?
It's up there.
Okay, yeah.
So this building is going to slope back, so it'll be very close in ground height to the existing parking lot and higher, equal with this building at the height at this corner.
Okay.
And as I was saying, the abutter here, this is certainly gonna, prevent them seeing a lot of this at this point. And they'll see the newer structure. A new stairway is anticipated to go in further over so that they can allow to get into both.
And I assume that what Cape Cod berm around the front or?
The front of the building?
Well, because he tore up the parking, so you'll take the
So
road.
this is the roadway that comes downhill, so again, from the back to approximately maybe 3/4 of the building, 1/4 of the building is all going to be underground.
Oh, okay.
It's all below grade.
Oh, I see.
The only part that you're gonna have the full extent of the height is where you walk in the sidewalk.
Gotcha.
You have to go down 12, 15 stairs right now to get to the concrete, so you just can go.
I like the head nodding, it means they're all customers. Well, acknowledging, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Thanks, I'm good.
I don't have any questions. Jeremy?
I have no questions.
None from me.
None? None for me. Make a motion to close the hearing? Since we have no one in the public,
I'll move to close the hearing.
Seconded.
seconded by Mr. McCall. All those in favor, Tim?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
John? Jeremy? That's a 5-0. Okay, discussion or motion, your choice. I'll actually make a statement that I want folks to understand, like, I know where this vote's gonna go. I want folks to understand, Easton is very easy to do business in. I don't want folks to think, some out there being in real estate, that folks say Easton can be difficult to do business in. I completely disagree. We wanna be obviously mindful of the beauty of town, but we also be mindful of the businesses in town. I've played many rounds of golf there with my kids. Great place to learn, easy to get to, good members of the community, and we want to make sure, at least in my opinion, we want to make sure we're supporting good members of the community. This is a very small ask.
I completely agree. That's why I'd like to make a motion to approve the special permit.
Okay, second.
Seconded.
All right, Mr. McCall. All right, all those in favor, Tim?
Aye.
Aye.
Jeremy? Aye. And I make a 5. So it's 5-0, so congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing the new facility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's.
Hopefully they don't tell you what they tell me. We have the new equipment, it's operator error.
Yeah. All right, let's.
Buying more, it's okay.
That's fine.
All right, we have a little bit of business to finish up as far as approval of the minutes of the June 6th meeting.
It's on this side.
Thank you, enjoy the rest of the evening.
Have a nice night, guys.
I didn't have any, things that I saw that needed to be changed.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should, I'll move to approve the minutes from the
Okay, need a
June
second?
6th meeting.
Seconded?
Second by Mr. McCall, any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, Tim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Well, I wasn't there.
Okay, so that's abstain.
I'll abstain
Unless you watch the video and you can, okay. You're not hot.
There are homework assignments.
All right,
Okay.
yeah, I'll approve.
Three votes are enough?
It's really supposed to have 4.
Okay.
No, no, 3's a quorum.
3 is,
And you can't vote if you didn't go to the meeting.
Okay, well,
Okay.
if you need a vote to approve it, then I'll.
okay. See, learn something new all the time. Okay, that's all we have. Anybody want to make a motion to close?
Motion to close the hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Just simple hand vote. That's 5-0. Thank you, everyone. We are good.
All right. We have to do some signing.
Sign.
Yes, and we had to sign stuff. I was gonna mention that.